What if the tax shelter you trusted most was hiding loopholes that could destroy your future? On the surface, an XRP Roth IRA looks like the perfect plan. After-tax contributions, tax-free growth, and the promise of freedom in retirement. But buried inside the fine print are XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes that the IRS can exploit at any time. A single reporting error, a sudden rule change, or a custodian mistake could leave you facing penalties instead of protection. Wall Street will never highlight these risks because they profit from your blind trust. The truth is simple. What you don't know can cost you everything. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to expose the hidden rules that could quietly ruin your retirement. Part 1. The silent drain of custodian fees. When retirees think about an XRP Roth IRA, they imagine steady growth and tax-free security. But the first hidden danger isn't the IRS, it's the custodian. Every XRP retirement account comes with layers of charges: setup fees, annual maintenance costs, transaction spreads, and storage charges. On paper, they look small. In reality, compounded over years, they quietly drain thousands of dollars from your future. This isn't accidental. Custodians know retirees rarely study the fine print. The system counts on you focusing on promises of long-term safety while overlooking what's being deducted month after month. For those who place their savings in a crypto IRA XRP, the real profits often flow not to the investor, but to the custodian. Think about it. Even if your balance grows, they win. If it shrinks, they still win. The structure is designed to ensure their income, not your independence. And while these fees may seem like a small inconvenience, they form the foundation of something bigger. Because hidden inside the rules of an XRP and IRA Roth IRA retirement are loopholes, complex IRS traps, that can punish you even harder than fees if you don't understand them. Part 2. Volatility, disguised as stability. Wall Street loves to market an XRP Roth IRA as if it can smooth out volatility. Brochures paint the picture of long-term calm, where your investments grow steadily, free from short-term chaos. But the truth is harsher. The volatility of XRP doesn't disappear just because it sits inside a retirement wrapper. It only hides until the next downturn, when your XRP retirement account balance suddenly collapses. The illusion of stability is reinforced by the rules that keep you locked in. With a crypto IRA XRP, you can't react quickly when markets swing. Withdrawals trigger penalties, custodian delays slow your access, and by the time you respond, the damage is done. This isn't protection, it's paralysis. For retirees, this creates a cruel double bind. You're told to stay calm because it's long-term, yet you feel every drop in value as if it's permanent. That psychological strain is no accident. It keeps you dependent on the system, while institutions continue to profit. And volatility is only part of the story. Hidden inside the tax code are complex loopholes that can make the pain far worse. These XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes aren't safety nets. They're traps waiting to spring when you least expect them. Part 3. Tax loopholes and IRS rules. On the surface, an XRP Roth IRA seems simple. Pay taxes up front, enjoy tax-free growth, and withdraw in retirement without fear. But beneath that promise lies a shifting maze of IRS rules and hidden traps. These are the XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes, complex exceptions that look harmless until they cost you thousands. One loophole comes from early withdrawals. Even an accidental distribution can trigger not just income tax, but heavy penalties. Another lies in custodian reporting. If your XRP retirement account custodian misclassifies a transaction, the IRS won't punish them. They'll punish you. And because digital assets remain in regulatory gray zones, the rules for a crypto IRA XRP can change overnight. What was compliant yesterday may be taxable today. The worst part? These loopholes aren't designed to protect you. They exist to protect the system. Institutions and policymakers bend the fine print in ways ordinary retirees can't predict, leaving individuals exposed. If your XRP and IRA, Roth IRA retirement depends on these rules staying constant, you're gambling with your freedom. Understanding these loopholes isn't optional, it's survival. Because the difference between keeping your independence and losing it can be buried in a single overlooked clause. And when mistakes happen, they don't just drain your savings, they strip away your trust. Part 4. Reporting mistakes and real costs. For many retirees, the most painful surprises don't come from market swings. They come from paperwork. An XRP Roth IRA depends on accurate IRS reporting, but custodians are not infallible. If a single transaction is misclassified or an update is filed late, the IRS doesn't punish the custodian. They punish you. Your XRP retirement account can suddenly carry unexpected tax bills, interest charges, and penalties that erase years of growth. This is one of the cruelest aspects of the system. Investors trust custodians to handle the details, but in reality, the responsibility always falls back on the individual. For someone holding a crypto IRA XRP, that means you shoulder the risk of others' mistakes while paying fees for the privilege. The so-called XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes aren't just obscure clauses. They're weapons that shift accountability away from institutions and onto retirees. Imagine building your future for decades, only to lose thousands over an error you didn't make. Worse, once the IRS marks it, the burden of proof is on you, not them. And by then, it's too late. The real cost of reporting mistakes isn't just financial, it's psychological. It shakes your confidence, leaving you to wonder what other traps you haven't seen yet. That uncertainty is no accident. It keeps retirees dependent, too fearful to question the system. And it sets the stage for the next truth: how Wall Street bends the rules to protect itself while leaving you exposed. Part 5. Wall Street Advantage. When you place money into an XRP Roth IRA, you imagine the rules are written to protect you. But in reality, the fine print favors institutions. Every XRP retirement account runs through custodians, brokers, and Wall Street firms that profit no matter what happens to your balance. Fees guarantee them income, while loopholes in reporting shield them from liability. If there's an error, you pay. If there's volatility, you wait. If laws shift, you scramble, while they adapt overnight. For anyone investing in a crypto IRA XRP, this imbalance isn't accidental. It's systemic. Institutions helped shape the regulations, carving out protections for themselves while leaving individuals exposed. And these XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes are part of that design. They let custodians distance themselves from your pain while collecting profits year after year. The message is clear. Independence is an illusion if you play by their rules. You absorb the risk, they harvest the reward. And the more you trust the safety of your account, the more leverage you hand them. This isn't about protecting your retirement, it's about protecting their business model. That's why the next danger is so devastating. It's not just Wall Street's control that threatens your future. It's the sudden policy shifts that can change the game overnight. Part 6. Policy shifts and sudden changes. The most dangerous part of an XRP Roth IRA isn't what you know, it's what you don't. The IRS and SEC hold the power to rewrite the rules overnight, and history shows they will. Today, your XRP retirement account looks compliant. Tomorrow, one policy change could redefine it, triggering unexpected taxes or restrictions you never planned for. This is especially true for a crypto IRA XRP, where regulations remain unsettled. 1 year, digital assets are tolerated. The next, they face new reporting demands, stricter custody rules, or reclassification as securities. And while institutions hire armies of lawyers to adapt instantly, ordinary retirees face confusion, delays, and costly mistakes. The truth is simple. The so-called XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes are not just obscure clauses. They are flexible levers of control used to shift the system's burden onto individuals. Every time the rules bend, they bend away from you and toward Wall Street's advantage. And the risk doesn't end there. Because even if the policies never shift, your own emotions can betray you. Fear, greed, and stress have destroyed more retirements than market crashes ever did. That's why the next danger is hidden not in the IRS code, but in the psychology of the investor. Part 7. Psychological Traps. The greatest threat to your XRP Roth IRA may not be hidden fees or shifting regulations. It may be your own mind. Retirement investing demands discipline. But when your XRP retirement account swings up and down with the market, emotions take control. Greed whispers during rallies, "Add more, it's safe." Fear screams during crashes, "Get out now before you lose everything." Both lead to costly mistakes. In a crypto IRA XRP, these mistakes are amplified by restrictions. Early withdrawals trigger penalties, custodian delays slow your decisions, and tax consequences punish reactive moves. The system profits from this cycle. Custodians collect fees while you absorb the damage. These pressures turn the XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes into psychological weapons, keeping retirees dependent and uncertain. Many investors freeze, unable to act as losses mount. Others panic, locking in penalties that shrink their future. The result is the same: dependence deepens and confidence erodes. Institutions understand this dynamic. They thrive when you doubt yourself, because your hesitation translates into their steady profit. This is why psychology may be the most dangerous loophole of all. Numbers can be measured, rules can be tracked, but fear and greed are invisible. And nothing exposes that truth more clearly than the stories of real retirees who trusted the system, only to discover too late that their independence was an illusion. Part 8. Real Story. Mark was 62 when he rolled his savings into an XRP Roth IRA. He believed the glossy pitch, tax-free growth, long-term safety, and a clear path to retirement freedom. For a while, it looked perfect. His XRP retirement account grew as XRP rose, and he felt secure. But one mistake shattered it all. When Mark tried to rebalance his portfolio, his custodian misclassified the transaction. Instead of a routine adjustment, it was reported as an early distribution. The IRS flagged it. By the time he discovered the error, penalties and unexpected taxes had already drained thousands from his account. His appeals went nowhere. The burden of proof was on him, not on the custodian. For Mark, the shock wasn't just financial, it was emotional. He realized the so-called XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes weren't obscure legal footnotes. They were traps waiting for someone like him. His safe crypto IRA XRP had turned into a liability overnight. What was supposed to guarantee independence left him more dependent than ever. Mark's story isn't unique. It's a warning to every retiree who trusts institutions without question. Because once the system locks you in, mistakes, whether yours or theirs, always cost you. And it raises the final dividing line. Will you remain dependent, or will you claim the independence to protect your own future? Part 9. Dependent versus independent investor. Every retiree holding an XRP Roth IRA eventually reaches a crossroads. Will you stay dependent or become independent? Dependence feels easy. Your XRP retirement account is managed by custodians, wrapped in IRS rules, and sold as a promise of safety. But that promise hides a price: penalties, reporting errors, and the XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes that institutions exploit while you shoulder the risk. Dependence means trusting a system that has already shown it values profit over people. Independence, by contrast, demands awareness. An independent investor doesn't blindly trust the long-term security narrative. They study the rules, demand clarity, and prepare for loopholes others ignore. They see a crypto IRA XRP not as a guarantee, but as a tool, one that must be handled with vigilance. Independence means accepting responsibility so that Wall Street and regulators cannot use fine print to steal your future. The difference isn't theoretical. Dependence leads to vulnerability, as Mark's story proved. Independence leads to resilience, giving you control even when markets crash or policies shift. One path keeps you tied to uncertainty. The other empowers you to guard your retirement on your own terms. And this choice brings us to the final truth, the vision that ties all of these lessons together, and the warning that could decide whether your retirement is safe or shattered. Part 10. Closing Truth plus Vision Line. We've uncovered the hidden costs, the volatility disguised as stability, the IRS reporting traps, and the institutional advantage. We've seen how sudden policy shifts shake your plans, how psychology magnifies your mistakes, and how real people like Mark suffered because of errors buried in the fine print. At every step, the message is clear. An XRP Roth IRA is not the fortress it's sold as. It is a structure built with conditions and loopholes that put your retirement at risk. The truth is simple. A crypto IRA XRP doesn't erase volatility. It locks you inside it. An XRP retirement account doesn't guarantee independence. It creates dependence. And the XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes don't protect you. They expose you. If your XRP and Roth IRA retirement depends on trusting custodians, regulators, or Wall Street, then your retirement isn't free. It's fragile. The greatest risk is not XRP itself. The greatest risk is believing someone else will protect your future. Real freedom comes only when you take control, when you understand the rules they hide, and when you refuse to let dependence dictate your destiny. Vision Line. The greatest risk is not losing money. It's losing control of your retirement. You've just seen how hidden rules and XRP Roth IRA tax loopholes can quietly destroy a retirement plan. We've exposed how custodians profit from fees, how the IRS shifts the burden onto you, how policy changes strike without warning, and how real people like Mark lost control of their future. The truth is undeniable. An XRP Roth IRA is not safety. It is dependence disguised as freedom. But knowledge is power. By uncovering what Wall Street won't admit, you've taken the first step toward independence. Now it's time to go further. Subscribe to XRP Today USA and join a community that refuses to accept dependence as destiny. Drop a comment below. Do you believe these loopholes protect investors or trap them? Your voice could help another retiree avoid disaster. And don't stop here. Share this video with a friend or family member considering a crypto IRA XRP or an XRP retirement account. They need the truth before it's too late. Remember, the greatest risk is not losing money. It's losing control of your retirement. Protect your future, claim your independence, and stand with us at XRP Today USA.